I pace around in the park, feelings of anxiety rolling over me. Every so often, I reach into my pocket to take out my phone, but each and every time I hesitate and end up slipping it back in. If this were any normal situation, I wouldn't be cutting classes. Unfortunately, it isn't, and so I find myself in the town below the school at 2 in the afternoon. Ever since I met Hanako, I've been the one to initiate everything between us. The one that started conversations, went to her wherever she was, and suggested what we should do. Today, this one, I don't want to be the only one doing that. My hand dives into my pocket once more. This time, I quickly navigate to the texting menu before I change or have a chance to change my mind again. Hanako, if you want to talk, I'll be at the park in town for a while. Fighting a last measure of doubt, I thumb in my message to Hanako and press the button to send it. And now, I wait. My part in this has been fulfilled. What needs to happen now is for Hanako to make the decision. It would be meaningless for me to drag her here. She needs to decide for herself whether she wants to meet me. The apple juice from the vending machine tastes awfully bitter as I swill it down. My grip on the can has caused it to dent slightly in the middle. It shouldn't be this tense, but it's probably inevitable. Hanako is dear to me. What happened in the last couple of days has put a lot of pressure on both of us. The idea of losing all the progress we've made in coming closer to one another, and losing our friendship as a whole, is deeply unsettling. But even then, I still don't really know how close we are. We may have had sex, but before that, all I knew us to be was friends. Maybe we are more than that. But if so, I never realized it. Maybe that's why it feels so uneasy right now. I don't understand Hanako, despite all the time we've spent together. The minutes are ticking by, and I have still no idea whether she'll show up. Hisao? I pause for a moment, almost not believing that I'm hearing the voice I am hearing. I drop the can and stand up with a start. Hanako. We look at each other for a few seconds, before Hanako becomes too embarrassed to maintain eye contact and begins to nervously fiddle with the rough-cut lock of her hair covering the side of her face. When I went to see Hanako in her room by myself after her breakdown, I had no idea what to say. That was fine then. All either of us wanted was each other's presence. Now though, I feel like I need to talk to her directly. I want to break down this wall between us, because it forces us apart for good. Hanako, what we did that night, how should I interpret that? Hanako stops playing with her hair and looks at me, her head cast slightly downwards. She looks ashamed, which is probably a good mirror of how I would look now if I weren't so concerned. I thought you might eventually go away if I was only someone you needed to protect. I thought that if I let you do that, you might see me as someone more than that. My first reaction is disbelief, but I did do it with her after all. I had plenty of opportunities where I could have stopped things, stepped back, and questioned what we were doing. In the end though, I didn't. A horrible feeling rises in the pit of my stomach. She offered herself to me because of what she thought I wanted, and now it feels like I took advantage of her. She may have been willing, but only under false premises. Wow, that's actually kind of... What? As of a fear of losing us, in a sense? Of fear like that Hisao would, kind of just, that if I can understand Hanako's feelings though. Like, you know, the more she opens up to Hisao and stuff, the more she feels like, or the more Hisao might feel like, wait, that she might not need that protection anyway, because, you know, she sees the improvement, or he sees the improvement that she's making. And this is sort of a way for her to hold on to him, which is... I've never been good at hiding my emotions from physically showing, and now is no different. Hanako looks down once more. A strange mixture of depression, regret, and sickness written to her face. Thick silence hangs in the air, save for the breeze blowing through the trees around us. I knew you couldn't look at me that way. Hanako's words are said in little more than a whisper, seemingly directed just as much at herself as to me. In what way? What do you mean? All I ever was to you was a useless person. Just someone to protect. Someone like a child. That's not true. You were never useless. Of course not. I wanted to be more to you than that. But after so long, I got used to it. The tone of her voice is unlike any I've heard her use before. She sounds disgusted, but not at me, but at herself. After I came out of my room, I saw that you had started drifting away. I felt like I was going to lose you, because you wanted somebody you could have that kind of relationship with. You were more quiet in school than before, and you were getting on so well with Yuko. I thought that I might lose you. Oh. She thought that I was bored of her because I wanted a romantic relationship? Oh, this feels so horrible. This feels bad. That she kind of pushed herself to do this, you know? But we're friends, right? I wouldn't just abandon you like that. Even if what you're saying was true. I guess that probably has to do with just all the other people in her life, right? Like, even people that probably got a little bit close to her, at some point they just sort of abandoned her. So she was scared of Hisao, with the same thing happening with Hisao here. Friendship was something I thought I'd given up on. I stopped believing in others after what happened after the accident. Before the accident happened, I got on so well with people and other children. I didn't have many friends, but I didn't mind, because I treasured the ones that I had. Afterwards, though, I was called names by others, and teased a lot. It hurt, really deeply. The teachers tried to help, but they couldn't do much. And even many of them recoiled just at the sight of me. Oh, poor Hanako. I just want to, comfort her, hug her. Among those calling me names and teasing me were the ones I thought were my closest friends. What? Oh, kids are fucking horrible. From then on, I believed that it didn't matter if nobody else acknowledged me. All my existence ever did was make people troubled, after all. It was easier if I just didn't exist. But after meeting Lily, and then you, I tried, but I couldn't make myself think that way again. All that time, she didn't trust me. She thought just like everyone else in her life had, that she was worthless. Someone to throw away once I got bored of being with her. Just the way that somebody thinks about themselves that way, is just horrible. Cause every single life, every person is precious, okay? Nobody should ever think like that. You're always important to someone. That hurts. That's the one kind of person I never, ever wanted to be seen as. Because I know better than most just how horrible it feels to be thrown away by those who I thought liked me. She's cracking from the memories she's bringing up. I feel useless, completely unable to console her. In a strange way, though, I am almost thankful that she's allowing me to know this. The walls between us is going away, even if it hurts so badly to bring it down. Hanako, if you just told me, was I wrong? Of course you... She wasn't. Hanako wasn't wrong. It's difficult to force myself to admit this, but I know trying to deny it is pointless. To me, and to Lily, she was someone we tried to protect. She had become to me what I'd become to my friends after my heart attack, a broken person. I liked her, possibly even loved her, but I never acted on that precisely because I thought she was so fragile. I mean, I don't look at you that way now. I got worried about you after what happened to you in class, and I thought I should try to protect you. When you locked yourself in your room, though, I got afraid. I thought you were rejecting me, and forced me to think about a lot of different things. I wasn't rejecting you. She blurts it out with an almost scared tone to her voice, taking me off guard. She quickly becomes embarrassed by her outburst, before clenching her fists and working through what she wants to say in her mind. I wouldn't ever do that. Not to you. Even though I was scared, even though I tried to push you away, you still tried to get closer to me. I locked myself away because I was just a burden to you, to Lily, to everyone. Every birthday was the same. Everyone doing their best to pretend that I mattered. Everyone pretending everything was alright for that one day of the year. I didn't want to exist, but they wouldn't let me. Even after meeting Lily, everything was the same. I was as useless as I'd always been, unable to do anything for her, or for myself. I didn't want to be the same way to you. Lily and I were completely wrong. From what she said, everything we did for her, it would have only made her feel worse. Even what little I thought I had right about her was a complete misjudgment. After you locked yourself in your room, I decided to try to work out my past as well, and sort out my future. I didn't know how to deal with the things I'd lost by coming to Yamaku, so I was trying to sort them out myself. I thought it would help us become better friends if I did that. Silence hangs in the air again. I tried to keep looking at her, but I can't. I feel really low, and though I want to apologize, I don't know how I possibly could. I hear her take a deep breath, and only look back to her after hearing her drop to the ground. What? No! What? Hanako! Oh my god, this side is breaking my heart. But why? Hanako, no! The sound of her crying breaks my heart. I know I'm responsible for this, and I know that I can't do anything to help her. If Hanako feels ashamed, then I feel all the more so. Oh. I rush to her as tears continue to roll down her cheeks unabated, wrapping my arms around her. I don't care about how I must look anymore. I just want to be close to her right now. I'm sorry, Hisao. I've messed everything up. It's fine. Everything is fine. I'm the one that should be sorry. I was meddling around behind your back, and I never told you anything. I can feel my grip tightening on Hanako as my vision blurs. I can't be bothered trying to hold back now. I have to force my words out as a lump begins to stick in my throat. To tell you the truth, Hanako, I was scared. For the first time since my heart attack, I was really scared. Hisao? I lost so much when I came to Yamaku. I was depending on you more than I ever thought I did. Even now, I still have that hole inside me after losing my entire life and everyone I'd known. The thought of losing you as well. But I'm just a useless... You're my friend, Hanako. No, you're more than that. I love you, Hanako. I love you so much that the thought of losing you frightened me so much. This is bad. I'm really letting out all of this. I can't bring myself to look at her face right now. I'm sorry, Hisao. I can't help feeling a bit happy for so long. That's what I've wanted to hear. The last of the floodgates breaks, the sound of her crying permeating the air as her body jerks against mine. We hold each other tightly, connected more closely than ever in our shared grief and our shared happiness. I don't know how things are going to be like after this. Right now, though, I don't care. There is no other person in the world that either of us could possibly share these memories and emotions with. Nobody. Oh my god. I can understand Hanako's, like, the way she thinks about that, right? Because to her it probably feel like, you know, that because she always felt that Hisao and Lily, and that actually the only reason why they probably were friends with her, or like were there with her, is because of that she seemed so fragile that she needed protection according to them, and that those people wanted to protect her, and that in consequence actually made her feel useless, you know, in a sense, because she feels like she's a burden to them, that they always have to take her into account, and just like, you know, they have to tiptoe around her and all that stuff. Like, I can understand it definitely, that because of that it just sort of feels like she's why is she even here? Why I don't know. This is so difficult. Like, you don't want anyone to feel that way. You don't want anyone to think like that ever, of course. But I can understand just from everything what have happened that she would think like that. But, you know, it's without, if you don't ever express it to someone, which she now eventually has to Hisao, you know, people can then take it into account, because obviously that's not the what Hisao and Lily want Hanako to feel, and they're trying not to achieve that. But, you know, if she doesn't let them know that she feels that way because of how they're being protective of her, then they don't really know that what they're doing is wrong. Therefore, they can't change it then either, right? But these things are just something that you have to talk about, even if it hurts at that moment. Even if you know you'll have a very emotional, sad conversation. These are things that actually help people like this. Just in general, just these conversations help you to understand each other, and because of that, it takes out guesswork. It takes out the fact that then you know, okay, this is what I can then able to do for this person, you know, and it makes people closer as well. Like, sometimes you just have to feel shitty for a while to feel better, and eventually much better than you would eventually if you were to never bring it up, you know? That's just how it is sometimes with friendships and relationships and with people. And it's sad that Hanako felt this way, but I feel like hopefully she's not going to have to feel this way anymore. After dropping the dirty can into a bin next to the bench, I take a seat beside Hanako. She puts away the handkerchief I gave her to clean herself up, which hasn't helped much. Then again, I doubt I look much more presentable. Even now, I feel emptied and a bit embarrassed after letting my emotions out in public like that. It's not a bad sensation though. I think Hanako feels the same too. Because now it feels like they've crossed this bridge, you know? Like those walls are down. Have you calmed down a bit? Yes. Thank you. For a while, we just sit and take our time before talking again to one another. We both need a little time to collect ourselves. The weather is nice at this time of year. That's a sign that everything is at least okay right now and probably going to be fine. The fact that they're talking about stuff like this again. Yeah, it is. I close my eyes for a moment, relishing the feeling of the sun's heat and the cool breeze against my face. The weather really is nice today. Really nice. You know, I don't want to really go back to classes right now. Do you? She shakes her head as she finishes wiping her eyes with her cuff. The small smile she gives is nice, and it's a reminder of how earnest it can be. Smiling for other people might be completely normal, an everyday thing. For Hanako though, she smiles so rarely and so sincerely that each and every time she does it, I feel a sense of relief and happiness. I'm sorry for everything. It's okay. I think we both have a bit to be sorry for. And that's sort of the way, like, they both had sort of wrong approaches towards each other, how they thought about each other, you know, how they thought the other person felt and what they needed to do to you know, do the right thing for that person. But that's once again because they didn't know each other that well. They didn't even, you know, like, you could, there was a feeling between them of friendship and perhaps more than that. But, you know, it was just an unspoken thing, you know, between them. But, and that's the thing that I feel like Hisao mentioned a lot, that, you know, despite that, all of that, she doesn't know her that well. Like, they haven't really talked about any of the personal things. And once again, that comes back to how Hisao thinks that she's so fragile. So he doesn't even dare to ask, and he feels like he needs to approach her in that way, in a very soft way. And that, but now that they actually, you know, finally have talked about it, I guess that sort of, you know, that's when the healing can begin. That's when they both can understand each other now. They're both on the same page, they're both on the same level, and can move forward together. I know that. I'm too shy. I know you don't want to be me too. I don't think I can. You can change, Hanako. I know that because even if the time I've known you, You've already changed, exactly. Even if it were little, subtle things, she's still changed. To be honest, just being able to sit here and talk to you like this means you've changed a lot since we first met. But I can't be like that for anyone else. I don't have any plans for after school ends either. Hanako's confidence begins to slide down again, but I think that now I can finally talk to her as an equal. I can do it because I know that we're just the same in so many ways. Just give yourself time, and I think you'll be able to achieve what you want. No, I'm sure that you'll be able to do it. I can see you've been trying, and I have faith in you. And you can depend on me if you feel like you need someone to support you, you know? But I can't ask that of you. You can, and that's exactly what I'm asking of you. I'm going through the same thing, you know? It's called love. Hanako smiles before I get off the bench and dust myself off. She does the same in short measure. I'm kinda hungry. Want to grab something to eat? She nods vigorously. The way she's smiling, the way she's acting, and even just the general air she gives off, I feel as if this is the first time I've seen her genuinely happy. We both make our way onto the street, walking beside each other. Hisao? Yeah? I think I don't really understand you. I don't think I understand you either. I believe that's fine, though. There's not a single hint of despair in our voices. Not understanding each other is only natural. The walls we set up between ourselves couldn't possibly be broken down in a single day. But that's fine, as long as we take it day by day and try to understand one another. I think everything will be okay. As we walk down the street though, Hanako's eyes flick to my face and back to the street repeatedly. Is something on your mind? You look restless. She slows before stopping completely. When I turn to meet her, she takes a long, deep breath, looking at my face intently. This expression, I saw it once before on her face. Just once, when I accidentally surprised her in her room. I think I have something I need to give you. What is it? You don't need to be evasive about it. I wanted to give this to you for a long time, but now that I need to, it's too embarrassing. Don't worry, I'll accept it, whatever it is. She gives a sweet, bashful smile before taking my shoulder in her hand. Then please, accept my first gift to you, Hisao. Oh, first gift? Meaning there's more to come? Hanako? Oh. Huh. Wow. What was the gift though? A hug? A kiss? Or... oh my god, this route. As usual, I'm kinda speechless. But dang. Holy shit. I'm guessing this was the good ending, right? Holy crap, so much happened within like those last few videos. And it's kind of interesting that it's like the complete opposite of how the rest of the entire route went, right? Like up until like before even the part where they got it all together, you know, in Act 4. Up until that point, things just started to feel really, really slow. And I actually felt like it was appropriate. It fit very nicely. But then I guess it just sort of, you know, that's because once again, I feel like we've taken the same approach that Hisao did, and that Hanako kind of, you know, that the reason for her feeling useless is because she felt like always people acting so fragile around her that they need to tiptoe around her, that they need to be protective of her and that sort of stuff, when I guess all she just wants is to be perhaps treated as a normal, real human being, you know? But that's something you just, it's hard to know for a person how they want to be treated, you know? But dang, this was the end of the Hanako route. I don't know, this is 4 routes down now, but we got 1 more to go to Shizune. But there's 2 more endings in the Hanako route, I believe. There's a neutral ending and a bad ending. I'm not quite I mean, I'm going to be covering at least one of them. I think the bad ending was fairly special. The neutral ending probably as well. I'm not sure, but I'll figure it out. Anyway, we're most likely going to be covering both of them before we move on to the Shizune route. But dang, I need to, you know, regroup, recover for a bit. So I'm gonna end this video here. This is the ending of the good ending of the Hanako route. 2 more to go, then the Shizune route, and then we're pretty much done with Katawa Shoujo. This entire route journey through this game has been amazing so far, and holy crap. Let's just end the video here. Thank you guys so very much for watching. Please like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.